usually feast on food, but you mentioned that feast on either or feast on water. How's that?
The one alphabet which is different between the word feast and fast is what? E. E represents ether. If you remove the E from the feast, then it is fasting. So, we say when you are fasting, you are actually feasting on ether. Ether is the foremost, subtlest, but strongest food. How ether can be food? Ether is dimension and space. Whatever is important for our existence is food. For example, I said sunlight is food. Without sunlight, no living being can be there in this world. And air is food. Without air, we cannot live even few seconds in the life. And that's how ether is space. Supposing there is a room and that room is sufficient for 20 people and 200 people comes in, that's crowd and nobody can live. It's very difficult to subsist with so many people inside the room. We need space for comfortable living. And in our body, we don't think about the same thing. There are trillions of cells in the body. And if we keep on stuffing food and producing more and more cells, there will be a blockade in the passage of material. And that becomes difficult for living. Our life should be enjoyable. If we have enough space between materials, and the flow of materials will be free. Free flow of materials is what is energy. It's not how much food you eat, how good you eat is matters. It's not how long we live, how well we live matters. In the same way, ether is space, and space is very essential for comfortable living.
Why is it important to fast daily in our regular lives?
Then I wouldn't say daily, I would say once in a week. It's good to fast because we are eating all the time and engaging our digestive system to work all the time. If we give some rest to the digestive system and focus on elimination and render our body cleaner, that will be very useful because there is a backlog in the elimination. All our bodily activities can be divided into two parts, one of assimilation and another of elimination. Because of the quality of the food that we eat nowadays, there is a backlog in the elimination, and that will lead us to sickness. So it's better to give one day in a week to allow the body to finish the backlog. All the pent up work of elimination should be completed that day and give no work for digestion. Our energy is divided between elimination and digestion. Most of the time the elimination work is not done well. So if during the fasting our body gets all the energy available to elimination work, and that's why it is very useful.
Is there a safe way to fast and break the fast?
Every fasting, the safety measure is dependent on the tolerance of each person. Some people they are not used to fasting, they cannot fast for longer duration. So we begin training them by reducing the quantity of food in their meal and reducing the number of meals that they take in a day. And that way, gradually they progress towards whole day complete fast, just drinking water. When that stage comes, he has already got trained, so he doesn't get any crisis. So non-crisis diet plan is introduced where fasting is introduced after every 4 days and the duration of fasting is increased gradually.
Are there different types of fasting a person can do?
One is called a progressive fasting where the quantity of food is reduced. Where it's called partial fasting, Partial fasting is reducing the quantity of food in every meal. And then progressive fasting is increasing the duration of fast in every meal, every day. Between the meals, There's a lot of gap. Originally they were eating every now and then, and later on they eat a few number of times in a day. That's how we progress, and we come to a stage where the whole day we can fast completely.
What role does the breath play in health and wellness?
We live, we breathe, that's why we live. And breathing is such an important activity of our life. If we learn to breathe properly, then our blood purification will be done more effectively. We constantly rely upon the breathing process in our respiratory process in our body to maintain cleanliness in the blood. The toxic gases, gaseous toxins in the body is thrown away, and useful gases like oxygen is absorbed during the breathing process. If we train ourselves to expand the lungs fully while breathing in, the total exchange of gases take place within a short time. If we do not hold the breath after inhaling, this process will be cut down, and constant practice of exhaling our breath and holding the breath afterwards improves so many other processes, gives rest to the lungs, and gives room for the brain cells to open up, because when we exhale and hold the breath, lungs are comparatively empty to the rest of the body, and because there are two rooms in the whole body are empty, gases flood rush towards the lungs. In doing so, in the crevices of the brain, there are some gases which kick out on the sides and rush towards the lung. In that process, brain cells are shaken, and new files, new information becomes available to us. Many puzzles which we are not able to solve in normal lifetime, we are able to solve them because of this practice of holding the breath after exhaling. That's very important.
Can shallow breathing be corrected by the method you're explaining?
Yes, most of us are shallow breathers, and so many doors in the lung wall is kept closed for a long time. When we start doing pranayama, the deep breathing exercise, then all these extra doors start opening up, and that's why we are getting better exchange of gases from the body.
Can you please explain what is pranayama, and if you can demonstrate some of the practices?
Demonstrate. Okay, pranayama is a breathing exercise. Prana means life, ayamaha means exercise. We breathe, that's why we live. And breathing, if it is regulated, we get a rhythmic breathing system which will help the heart also to beat rhythmically. They both help each other. So one unit of pranayama consists of 4 parts: inhaling, holding the breath, exhaling, and again holding the breath. These 4 parts make it 1 unit, and we continuously do 5 units together to make 1 set. After 1 set of pranayama, we do the normal breathing and look at the breath with closed eyes. When we focus on the breath and meditate, the breath becomes subtler and subtler until a stage comes where we are not even breathing but we are living. And that is the main purpose of doing pranayama, to come to a stage where we are not breathing and we are not having any suffering at all. And thoughtlessness comes. That thoughtlessness state is one very, very valuable state in our life. We get to live but not breathe. That means we are prolonging our life duration, and that means we are improving the quality of our lungs. If we give rest periodically, again and again, to our lungs will serve us for many more years than we are supposed to live. Thus, to demonstrate, we first set of pranayama, we usually close the right side of the nostril and inhale through the left. I am doing it now. And close. Exhale through the right. And again close. Inhale through the right. And close. Exhale through the left. And close. This way you continue to do 5 units, and after 5 units close your eyes and do a normal breathing and give your attention to the normal breath. So as I explained, we do 3 sets to make a session. In one day we do 3 sessions, morning, afternoon and evening. So 3 sessions will give us purification of approximately 9 liters of blood. And when we are normally breathing, we are also purifying the blood continuously, and that continuous cleaning is essential for us. And when we practice long breath, that duration of holding becomes longer and more effective cleaning is taking place.
Would you please elaborate when you say that we are not breathing? Would you like to say exactly what happens?
We are supposed to breathe for a certain number of times in our life. When a person dies, they say he breathed his last. That means he finished the quota of breathing. So many other schools of yoga teach you fast breathing and jerky breathing. According to me, that's not a healthy practice. According to me, slow and prolonged breathing is very healthy and makes our lungs very strong. So if we prolong the breathing, we are breathing less number of times and leaving those few extra seconds or minutes for doing a few number of breaths. And we are reducing the number of breaths in our life and living a better life. So several installments of not breathing comes in our life and we gain time and quality of life.
You also recommend doing pranayama before meals. Is there a reason behind that?
Because when the stomach is full, the expansion of lungs is hindered and we are unnecessarily disturbing the digestive process. So we always prefer to do our breathing exercise before we eat any meal. So the lung expansion will be comfortable and more effective.
Are there any other do's and don'ts for pranayama?
Chakya pranayama is no good. Doing fast breathing is no good. So breathing in a polluted air is also not good. If you can find a time early in the morning, comparatively the air is purer and that time we will benefit from the pranayama much better.
How safe is to look at morning sun and sunbath? Will it not burn the skin? Don't I need to use a sunscreen lotion?
We look at the sun to improve the eyesight. By looking at the rising sun, which is very mild, it does not hurt the eyes. It rejuvenates the retina, new cells comes in our retina. And looking at the sun in the daytime is also safe if you practice little by little by blinking your eyes for many times. And as far as sun basking is concerned, we are interested only in the light of the sun, not the heat of the sun. Once you maintain this principle, you will have no fear about any skin problem.
What exactly is a solar?